Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today I'm doing a little bit of a mini update where I'm going to be sat down again. I hope you don't mind me doing a couple of videos like this because at the same time I get to share my screen with you, which I think is also pretty good. And I know some of you guys really enjoyed the full whiteboard videos and trying to read what I'm writing on the whiteboards and trying to understand, so don't worry, I'll still do a couple of them, but I always think it's also good to change it up sometimes and maybe do a couple of videos where I sit down and maybe do a bit of screen shares as well. So I hope you're alright with that, and yeah, we'll get on to the stock market with the week ahead. It's probably going to be another big week. I'll kind of talk about a few things in general, maybe some of the earnings that are coming up, some stocks that I'm looking at, and just a couple of game plans I have in place as well. So I hope you could hope you enjoy it, and hope you could smash the like button as well. 300 likes is always a target, and if you're new around here, subscribe. You know, I've noticed a lot recently at the moment, there's quite a few of you guys that, I think like 30% of you guys that maybe watch my videos and then don't subscribe, so you know, it's free, you know, so I'll just leave that there. But yeah, let's get on to the stock market next week, because it will be probably another big week of, is this going to go lower or have we reached the bottom? So I'm sure you saw this article or what got passed the other day in the Senate. I think a lot of that was already priced into the stock market, so I don't think that will make any difference. There's always the classic saying like, buy the rumor, sell the news. So yeah, I would say it might send it down more than anything, to be fair. But yeah, that's something that did come out across the weekend. We'll just go through an earnings point of view, and then we'll talk about some stocks as well after that, if that's okay. So yeah, Monday's quite interesting on the earnings front. I know a few guys were in XPeng a while ago. Neo's one actually I looked into, I think it was 3 weeks ago, and I actually really liked what I saw. The only problem I had with that was the valuation side of it. So yeah, that's an interesting one, so it'd be good to see what they kind of do there. We've got Wish. They were a recent IPO, I nearly did a video on them actually. There's actually a new IPO that I might touch on maybe tomorrow actually, that's interesting. But yeah, Wish was a kind of a new IPO, which will be interesting. Don't think I'm too bothered about anything else really on Monday. Tuesday on the open, same again, I'm not too fussed. In general, I'm not too fussed what's going on the Tuesday side of it. Wednesday is definitely an interesting one. I think obviously, AMC, that's probably one of the most talked about stocks over the last kind of like couple of months. Obviously Tattoo Chef, so obviously we've kind of got earnings out already. They released them a little bit early, so we kind of don't have too many surprises. The thing is, when companies always bring their earnings out early, it normally means that when the proper earnings come around, the stock goes down. So yeah, that's the only thing I would say about that. We saw it with InMode about 2 weeks ago, and also we saw it with Turtle Beach on Friday. Them guys brought their earnings out early, came around to earnings, stock goes down, because yeah, we kind of know what's happening really. So it has to have something in there fantastic to move the stock in a positive direction. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Tattoo Chef say. I'll be definitely listening to their earnings call. For me, what I'm looking for in that Tattoo Chef earnings call is more of like partnership deals, and if partnerships have increased and they've got new partnerships, how well the target deals going and stuff like that. So yeah, that one for me is more like looking how the partnerships are doing. But yeah, I'm sure a few guys will be very interested in that one. Oracle, I think some of you guys are interested in that one. Obviously one of my stocks here, Skills. I will talk about Skills in a little bit actually after this, but yeah, believe that should be, I know they did a earnings before they came like IPO or through the SPAC merger, but I think this is the first one as like a completed merger through SPAC. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how they're doing. So yeah, I'll be definitely checking Skills out. I'm a big fan of that company. And then JD on Thursday, obviously a company that I own. I think I'm up like 300-400% on them guys. I love JD. So I'm sure they're going to smash it again. That's all they do. They only know how to smash things. So we'll see how that one goes. DocuSign, that's always interesting, I guess, from a point of view of like through Dropbox. So yeah, we'll see what goes on there. Ultra Beauty, I know a few guys might play that one every so often, but yeah. And Funko, I looked into them a while ago as well. Never ended up buying, but yeah, I guess maybe a few of you guys interested in a few of these. We are on a little bit of a smaller market cap kind of couple of earnings, but yeah, I think Wednesday, Tattoo Chef and Skills is going to be a crazy day. But yeah, so that's on the earnings front. On the UK front, I think Gym Group are reporting earnings, if any of you guys are in Gym Group, and also Legal in General, I believe, and also Rolls-Royce, I believe, are reporting earnings. So that could be the changing point on Rolls-Royce, where it could sneak into being a buy if we see some positive news on the cuts. My opinion on what Rolls-Royce and Aston Martin have changed a little bit over the last few days. Now we have a exit plan out of what we're currently in. So yeah, so where I'm at with them two, definitely starting to change. Now just going to talk about a few stocks, because I know a few of you guys sometimes always post on like before we look onto stocks, let's actually look at the stock market. I know a few guys asked me like a few questions about some stocks, and I always read every question that's always put in the comments. Sometimes I just don't have time to get back to them, but I do always read everything you always put. So yeah, just thought I'll let you know that. But yeah, let's talk about the Nasdaq just to start with. So obviously it was a bit of a bad, couple of weeks for the Nasdaq. It's down quite a bit. I think it's always interesting because when the stock or the index always hits because it's hit like an actual 10% correction now. I think that's always a mental point of view now of like, okay, we're in an actual official correction, and then we might see some buyers come in. And on Friday we did get that. And I also thought it was interesting on Friday. Does it actually still show it here? We had the classic rises in pre-market and then falls when the market opens. But sometimes it has been putting in a little bit of a recovery, but then it just drops again. But we didn't have that on Friday. What we had on Friday was we had the stock market still recovering, and nearly a 4% day really, which is positive. And I also think on a Friday as well, like people always associate Friday with like, oh, I'll take some risk off for the weekend. And yeah, to see a strong buyers coming like that, and like I say, I think that now we had an official 10% correction. I hear a lot of people now saying that they think the stock market's going to go even lower than where it is right now, and I just, for me, I can't see it going too low. Like I've always said, like we're in an overvalued stock market, but I think so many people just know to buy the dip now that I just think the days of it, like, you saw it in CV, like that rebound was just absolutely insane. For me, I'm not sure. I don't think we'll go too much lower, but I know a lot of people saying, it could be negative for the next kind of, 30, 60 days, or we might go down to so-and-so point, but I don't know. I think we're about there at the moment. I mean, we might flatline for a bit, we might not have a speedy recovery, maybe we'll only go down a couple of percent more, but I generally think we're kind of getting near where we'll bottom out here. But that was a really good sign on Friday. What Monday will be interesting is it probably set the tone for the rest of the week. So we'll probably see a little bit of a rebound if we get a green day on Monday. If it is a red day, then we might have new lows coming in and we do go lower. At the moment, I've got no plans to really buy anything. It would have to go lower for me to be interested into buying stuff. So yeah, we'll see what exactly goes on there. Just going to talk about a few individual stocks because I've got a lot of questions about a couple of companies. So this here in Turtle Beach was an interesting drop because I'm a fan of Turtle Beach, and a 30% drop is a lot. But the thing is I'm still around, I think around $18, $19. So I'm still up quite a bit here. I'm up about 30% still at the moment. And so for me, it's still very hard to average up on this one because I'm up so much. And the other thing as well is like with Turtle Beach, like I said, I'll talk about the earnings call just in a few minutes, but the P ratio on here is 10. And this company is never going to trade at a high P ratio. And the one thing that I've always, Logitech, the thing that I've always done is I've always run off Logitech. And their P is 17 right now. And I don't think Turtle Beach will ever trade at a much higher P ratio than Logitech. So that means that people are like, oh, why don't you average up on Turtle Beach? And I'm like, well, I'm already up 30%. And now that the P ratio is about 10, I don't think there's much upside on this one. So if I'm up quite a lot on a position and the upside's being shrunk, I tend to not average up on them. I tend to go find some new positions to go buy. But don't get me wrong, you get Turtle Beach back down at like $18, $19, $20, you'll see me buying because the upside will be even more bigger on that one now. But yeah, But on the conference call, I'd listened to Turtle Beach's conference call, was really good. They were very tight-lipped about new products, but there's some coming. There was a mention of Corsair and moving into software to like compete with Corsair, and it was a bit of a like, yeah, that's where we're going, but we can't say too much because we don't want our competitors to know. So that was interesting. Corsair is one that I've been buying quite a bit recently because I like the gaming space, and I can't buy Turtle Beach just because of how much it's still up at the moment. But don't get me wrong, Turtle Beach, if it comes back down to the $20 range, I will be buying at the $20 mark. That will be somewhere that I do buy. This one's interesting. Obviously, this is on the same sort of dip as Turtle Beach, but I think these guys have a bigger future than what Turtle Beach has. I think when you look at the forward PE, I think these guys actually work this forward PE out wrong. Maybe it's right now. But like the forward PE on this one's 22. And I think when you look at the growth that Corsair are going to have and the gaming growth, I think this is a really attractive valuation. So this is now Turtle Beach at 30. Corsair. So let's just talk about too many gaming stocks. Corsair at forward PE of 22 for this company. This really does start to interest me. I've had a lot of questions about skills. Obviously, I love skills. I think my PE, my average is about $17 now. Originally it was 14, so I have averaged up quite a bit. But you can see here, like I'm still up 54% on this one. People, I would love to buy this one, but same again, it's just like averaging up on this one is just way too much. Like the market cap's 10 billion. When I was buying this one, it was, nearly half of this. And the company's trading at like a price to sales ratio of like 20 right now. And just to put that into perspective, that's about the same as something like a DraftKings. So this isn't undervalued anymore in my opinion. Like if I wasn't involved in the company, for sure I'd be tempted to just buy some here. But for me, that has a really good average. I'm looking at this one and I'm like, it's pretty much fairly priced compared to the competitors. So this is why another one why I can't average up on this one yet. It would have to come down a little bit for me to be a little bit more interested in this one. And the same thing applies to like, I get these questions quite a lot about a lot of companies. So like Huya, like am I averaging up on Huya? No, because my average on this one's, I think it's like $21 at the moment. So I'm still up quite a bit on this one. But if I go on the forward P of Huya, like I was buying this forward P in like, I was like in 19 forward P. So like the upside is a little bit more limited now. So I'm just kind of like, I'm not going to keep, if I have good averages on companies in a decent position, sure, I'd love to buy more at the right price, but the upside's a lot more limited on these now, and that's why I'm not like hugely averaging up on these ones. But another earnings call I did listen to this weekend was these guys, Shopify. Was really impressed with them. These guys do trade at a little bit of a rich valuation, but everything I hear from these guys is why they deserve to trade at a really rich valuation. Like I really like this. I really do like this company. I also was looking at a bit of DraftKings this weekend. Same again. Deserve to trade at a premium. These guys, everything they have going on is really impressive. And the last one is GNOG. So these guys, in my opinion, right now, and this is a long time since I said this. Like this, in my opinion, this is now easy money. This for me is the most undervalued stock on the stock market. I don't know if I'll go on to. Let me see if Simple Wall Street have updated what is going on with GNOG, because they still had a lot of the SPAC numbers on this company, and I believe looking at it right now, it still has all the SPAC numbers on. Is that the correct revenue growth? That could be the correct revenue growth, but I don't believe the balance sheet's been updated. But yeah, I mean, this company's doing pretty good on the revenue front side of it. I don't know if that's exactly the right revenue, so I can't really use that. That's a bit of a waste of time. But yeah, GNOG for me at the moment, like company's at 912 million market cap, $13. Like the price to sales ratio on this one, something like 5 at the moment or something. Don't exactly take that right. I'm going off numbers off the top of my head, trying to go off memory. I think the price sales ratio is somewhere like 5 at the moment. Look, you see the company's on a 50% dip. It's on a 50% dip. Price sales ratio is of 5. It's growing at like a 60% revenue every year. Compare it to the other companies in the industry like DraftKings, like their price sales ratio is something like 30. And Golden Nuggets trading a lot cheaper valuation than that sort of company. And yeah, I think that this at the moment, like, I'm still not a big fan of management. The balance sheet could be better, but I'm looking at this company and thinking it, just because of the amazing growth and opportunity it has, 50% dip, like, I think this should be a $20 stock. So yeah, I've been buying this quite a lot, because I think this is easy money. I think this is the best valuation on the stock market right now, in my opinion. And yeah, and I think $13, I quite like it around here. So yeah, don't think I'll hold it as long as like a Gang or a DraftKings, but yeah, it's definitely a decent valuation at this sort of point. So I'm a big fan of this one. But yeah, I think those are kind of a few things that I wanted to touch on some companies wise. But yeah, some interesting stuff. We'll see what happens. Obviously, the big thing will be where the stock market goes next week. Like I said, I'm kind of thinking, you know, obviously I'm not a day trader, or I do long-term investing, so I'm not. I would benefit from it going down further, and you know, this is no point in me like, don't hold me to this, because the chances of you predicting the stock, where the stock market goes, you know, it's like a 50-50 shot really. So, you know, this isn't my best expertise, if you get me, but I think like at the moment, like, I think there's a good sign of a rebound, and I would expect it to be a bit more of a positive week, but we'll see where it goes. Obviously, if it goes lower, that's great, you know, good buying opportunities to buy a few more stocks. But yeah, overall, that's a little bit of a look into next week anyway. So I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Smash the like button. If you are new, subscribe. If you want to join the Discord, Patreon, links in the description. And if you also want to start investing, it's linked to a free trade account. You join through there, you also get a free share as well. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.